Boston, Mass. And we're about 30 miles south at Gillette Stadium in Fox.
What is going on, sports fans? Lawrence Patchman Lang here. Bring you to Sunday Night Football here. Just me right now on the YouTubes. It's the Patchman here right now. Hopefully other people are coming to join me soon. But if not, me in the audience right now. So let's see what happens. Exciting day in the football world. Week 2, and we're already having comebacks, upsets, and all the extravaganzas here in the NFL. So, if you're living under a rock, we're going to get to some of the fun stuff that happened today. So as we wait for Miami and New England to kick off in Foxborough. So we'll start with my beloved team, the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, another good game. 14-25, 151, 3 touchdowns, only sacked once for a loss 11, no interceptions again. Not having Aaron Jones is a bummer because, he's our go-to. And, the internets and Facebook groups I'm in can bitch and moan about A.J. Dillon, 15 carries, 55 yards, no touchdown. His long only being an 8-yard run. Run game was, not that good. Positive notes. Jordan Love, 2 carries, 23 yards. His long being a 24-yard run. Emmanuel Wilson, who's, the backup to A.J. Dillon, 3 carries, 5 yards. His longest being a 7-yard run. So, there's that. On the receiving end, Devontae and Wicks, 2 receptions, 1 TD, long being 32, his touchdown being a 4-yard pass. Jaden Reed, also 4 receptions, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns, his long being a 10-yard completion. Romeo Dobbs, another, 2 receptions, 30 yards. Tight end Luke Musgrave, 2 receptions, 25 yards, and, we can get into the rest, Packers, had the lead going into the fourth quarter, 24-12. And then, fourth quarter comes around, the old Green Bay Packers come out in me or at them, playing conservative football in the fourth quarter, not, trying to pass the ball more, put more points on the board. They decided to play conservative football, end up surrendering 13 points to the Falcons. On the Falcons side, hey, Desmond Ridder had himself a decent game, 19 of 32, 237 yards passing, 1 TD, 1 INT, sacked once for a loss of 2. The sleeper in fantasy, as people like to call him, Bijan Robinson, 19 carries, 124 yards, his long being a 19. Tyler Aguilar, 16 carries, 48 yards. And then Desmond Ridder had himself a touchdown with off of 10 carries, 39 yards, his long being a 9-yard touchdown run. Drake London looked good, 6 receptions, 67 yards, 1 TD. Other than that, all it is, Green Bay did not play 4-quarter football. They played 3-quarter football. Playing abysmal in the fourth quarter. No points in the fourth quarter, Start the first quarter, get no points. It was only 3-0 after the first quarter. Then they put up 10. And they went up 10. They're up by 1 going in halftime. Then they put up 14 in the third quarter to, Atlanta's 3 points. And then, get shut out in the fourth quarter. Once again, Atlanta put up 13, went down, kicked the game-winning, kicked the game-winning field goal with about 30 seconds left. They gave Jordan Love had a chance to make a comeback happen. But, that didn't happen, It's only second game of the season. I'll take 1-1. Would I like 2-0? Yes, but also we can be 0-2 right now. So it's baby steps, Once again, can't complain from Jordan Love, through 2 games, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, no complaints there. So now they've got the Packers out of the way. We'll head over to Buffalo. After, the debacle of Monday Night Football, where we saw Aaron Rodgers' season come to an end due to an Achilles tear. And we thought Buffalo was just going to run away with this game. No, Jets came back, Jets made the game, came back, No, one in overtime, but what happens in week one, sometimes it motivates you to light a fire under you know what. And sure enough, that happened with Josh Allen, 31 of 37, 274 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. James Cook, 17 carries for 123 yards, no touchdowns. Damian Harris, 7 carries, 33 yards, 1 touchdown. Latavius Murray, 6 carries, 22 yards, 1 touchdown. Receiving end, Gabe Davis, 6 receptions, 92 yards, 1 touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 1 reception, 11 yards for 1 touchdown. Dawson Knox, 3 receptions, 10 yards, 1 touchdown. So, even Stephon Diggs, even though he got no touchdown, 7 receptions, 67 yards, helps them out. Buffalo played Buffalo football like they've been for the last few years. You lose one, motivates you to come back. And that's what they did. They came back, won against the Raiders, 38-10. On the flip side, Garoppolo didn't have himself a decent game. 16-24, 185, 1 TD, 2 INTs. His only TD going to former Packer wide receiver Devontae Adams, 6 carries, 6 receptions of 84 yards, 1 TD. Also, Devontae left towards the end of the game into concussion protocol after taking a hit near the end zone. Zach White had 1 fumble. Zamir White, correction there. Himself, 4 carries, 22 yards. It's rushing touchdowns from the Vegas Raiders today. So there's that. In all, it's a nice bounce back win for Buffalo because, if Buffalo started 0-2, questions would go into screens about head coaching, all coaches, and even Josh Allen. To quote my mother, the way Josh Allen played last week, he would have been on the bench this week to start the game to say, hey, you need to calm yourself down, relax, get your shit together, and move forward. And that's what he did. He moved forward. Buffalo, now 1-1. Hey, it's a nice bounce back win for the Bills, 38-10. As we wait for, we're getting ready for a kickoff here. We'll talk about a few other games in a little bit, but right now we're just going to get to a little Sunday night football action. Once again, it's just me right now, Patch Man. Miami's going to kick it off, so that means to receive the ball in the second half of the game once the third quarter kicks off. Montgomery's in the back to receive the ball. We'll see if, with the new touchback rules, we'll see if New England takes it out. Patriots wearing their throwback red uniforms.
Born, he's still watching. Houston Schuster, Palm Beach College, Hunter Henry, Arkansas. Darian Rose, Cole Strange, Chevy Nivens, David Andrew, Jordan, Mike Owen, Smith, Calvin Anderson, right?
Changes up front. Old guards into the planned starting guards for the year who didn't play week 1. They're in the lineup. Trent Brown, how they went back in. So Harry Logan his first start. And Jones first pass. He got 5 to 30-yard line.
A 5-yard completion pass from Mr. Mac Jones. Mac Jones last week, 35 of 54, 316 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT, had a QBR of 91.3. So where'd you see 50 throws in the first week game? But, that's Mac Jones for you. Patriots like to pass the ball a lot. Devontae Parker with the catch. Let a gain of 4. It'll be 3-1 for the Patriots.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? They come out and they go spread formation, then they go spread and condense back. You know what the Patriots want to do in this game. They want to get back to the running game. They don't want Mac Jones throwing 54 times again, like he did against Philadelphia. But starting off,
Patriots with the run. Stevenson with the carry. Past the first down marker and probably a gain of 4 after that. 4 or 5, probably.
So they sort of set up and bluff what everybody in football has been doing.
Probably a recurrent factor going forward. We're going to try new things here at SIN. Doing Sunday Night Live coverage. We'll talk about games that, happen throughout the day that were exciting. And also cover Sunday Night Football. Stevenson, rumbling, stumbling as the great, I believe it was not John Madden. We're kind of memory blank right now. It'll come to me. Rumbling and stumbling. Chris Bourbon. There we go. Sometimes memory blanks happen when you're doing live stuff here. Chris Bourbon, the rumbling and stumbling. Patriots another first down. Douglas had probably about a gain of 13 on that.
Some people in football that are just more fun to watch than others, right? And that's exactly what you're going to get with Mario Douglas. They call him Bob around here, and Bob has to go there. Once he gets in space, you're talking about one of the better tacklers in football, Javon Holland, and he really has no chance.
Right, this is a good looking start. Script with O'Brien.
Patriots at the, looks like 45-yard line right now. They're in Miami territory.
Sealer in first, and the entire Miami defense.
As we keep going, Sunday Night Football keeps going on. Another thriller. We had a game go to overtime today. Seahawks and Lions, the newly revamped Lions, as I guess, they're the bad guys now of football, according to their head coach. So fans are showing up in ski masks. So the bad Lions. Jones just got sacked in the backfield for about a loss of 12. As we were saying, 37-31 in overtime for the Seahawks. Someone else has decided to grace our presence here on live, and I think I know who it is. It's Danny Boy Reginald in the building. What's up, brother?
None.
Hey, it's right to be late, It's just me talking to the fans right now.
Awesome. Sorry about the Packers.
I talked about it, the Packers played 3 quarters of football. They didn't play a full game of football, and they know I've seen it throughout the years with the Packers. Play 3-quarter football, and it's like 4th quarter we're going to play conservative, and then we end up losing the game.
Yeah.
I can't be mad. I can't be mad at Jordan Love because it's only his second official, second official, full season starter. I mean, I can't complain about him. Another 3 touchdowns. It's just the defense has to show up all the time. They have been terrible lately trying to stop the run. I can't complain there. I mean, I can complain about the defense all day. Jordan Love, once again, he's new to this, playing every game. So it's gonna be growing pains here and there. I'm still happy with Love's performance today. I can't complain. I can't complain with him.
Better, more of a valiant effort than what the Jets gave. So I'll give you that.
There was a glimmer of hope for the Jets with that big touchdown where it made it. I think it was 10-7, 10-6, 10-6, 10-7, whatever you want to call it, without the extra point.
10-7.
Yeah, 10-7, and then it was just like implosion.
Well, I think, and I was watching the game with Halpern. And we both agreed the game completely changed because the Jets were still in it for a while. The game completely changed when it was towards the end of the first half. Dallas is driving downfield. The Jets were about to get away with a field goal, but then they had that dumb roughing the passer call on John Franklin Myers, which was not a good call.
I agree.
Everyone seemed to agree that was not a good call. but the ref hosed us. So then that extended the Dallas drive, and then we had third down again. Then we had another third down penalty, and I believe it was a holding penalty or whatever, pass interference, whatever they called it. That just killed the Jets, and then Dallas goes into the end zone for a touchdown, and then they, I think they scored 2 points to make it 18 to 7, and then after that, Dallas pretty much took over well on defense at that point. I know Zach Wilson had a good drive, 2-minute drill drive. He did very well today on that front. I know the stats are not going to back it up, but Zach Wilson's day was a lot better than what you think. And
I agree.
the reason is because the offensive line, once again, did not give good protection for him. 1. 2, the running game was dreadful. It was non-existent at all. And then the defense cannot get off the field. You gotta keep the game close to give your quarterback a chance. To give your team a chance.
I mean, looking at that,
Any quarterback, including Aaron Rodgers, if he was under center today, I don't think the Jets win that game.
It's tough right now. That offensive line is, been abysmal the first 2 games. You're supposed to, like you said, you're supposed to protect your quarterback. It's not like, all right, push. Oh, okay, here you go. You can get through now. It's hold them, not hold them for a penalty, but stop them. You're supposed to stop them from getting to your QB.
That Dallas has a good defense, and look, you're not going to stop Dallas's defense every time. They're a good team. Micah Parsons is going to get his. Everyone's going to get theirs. Okay, they're a good team. They're a good defensive team, but something to give your team a chance. To give your running backs lanes, something. Nothing.
I mean, looking at Zach Wilson today, 12, 27, 170 yards, 1 TD, and then there's the 3 interceptions that he had. 1 almost got returned for a pick 6.
2 were garbage time. At that point the game was out of reach, so I don't even count those.
I mean, I will say
it goes down the record books, but they were It came at a time where the game was already over.
I mean, comparing, New York Jets rushing to Dallas rushing, 16 carries of 64 yards, for the Jets, and then 44 carries for 134 yards for Dallas. It's just Dallas shut down the run game today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the longest they gave up was a 16-yard run, and that was Zach Wilson running the ball.
He was their leading rusher.
Tua with the first down. Now, before you came in, I was getting ready to talk about Seattle and Detroit and the thriller that they had. I will say
I didn't see that game, to be honest with you.
The Patch Man had a day of rest. Had a day of rest today because he hurt himself, and I'll talk to you about that off air because listeners don't need details on that injury.
That's fine.
But in my adventures of resting, watching NFL Red Zone, since DirecTV no longer has not a sponsor Sunday Ticket, thanks to our streaming provider of tonight's stream. We'll go with that. I was watching Red Zone, so it kept going back and forth between them and the Packers and a couple other games that were going on. I'm like, oh, Seattle and Detroit having themselves a game. Geno Smith had himself a good game, 32, 41, 328, 2 TDs, only sacked once. I mean, running game looked good. Kenneth Walker the third, 17 carries, 43 yards, 2 touchdowns. So there's that. DK Metcalf doing his thing and Tyler Lockett doing his thing. Both of them, having respectful games in the receiving end. Especially Tyler Lockett with eight receptions, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff, still showing that he can still do it.
He was good today.
28, 35,
He's very good.
323 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and then 1 INT. There's that. He did good. Amon-Ra St. Brown, even though he didn't get a touchdown, still at a 100-yard game. Off 6 receptions, 102 yards. It really, it just, I don't want to say overtime ruins this game because I still, my views in overtime is both teams deserve to possess the ball, even if a touchdown occurs. Like the only way I see a game, only way a game should end on the first drive of the series minus the touchdowns is if you get picked off for a pick 6. And then the game's over. Because, then technically both teams had possession of the ball. Because, you had a chance to throw the ball, you got picked off, they ran it back for 6 points, game over. Okay.
No,
But-
the overtime rules were fine until Bills fans started bitching and complaining.
I think it's been before from Bills fans bitching.
But they thought they got hosed.
The Bills still get Bills still get hosed from that because okay, fine.
No. Play defense. Play defense. Play defense.
I'm not going to argue.
And that argument was disproven the next week because what did the Bengals do?
Play
They
defense.
played defense. They got a takeaway. They went down the field, got a field goal, won the game. So I didn't want to hear that stuff. The Bills were the main reason. They bitched and complained, and they were mad that they didn't get to see Josh Allen go out and play. The overtime rules were fine.
By the way, Josh Allen 0-5 in overtime games. No offense to Josh Allen. He had himself a bounce back game. I talked about that earlier. But we'll say Geno Smith just went down in overtime, just like, no, we're going to win this right here. Boom, done. So good for them. I will say, Baker Mayfield looks like, he's found himself comfortable in Buccaneer land. Tampa Bay coming with the win, even though, I know people say the Bears are the worst team in the league. You still win a football game. Because it was close in the beginning. It was, 10-10 at half? I think it was 10-10 at because, it was 10 at the half at piece. Justin Fields, 16-29, 211, 1 TD, 2 INTs. Still getting sacked a lot, got sacked 6 times.
Mhm.
So, even the Bears O line is atrocious for them. Oh, we got a score yet? No. Miami down at the 4, it looks like. Back to the Bears and Bucks. Baker Mayfield, 26-34, 317 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Bucks 2-0. Who would have thought? Because, people say Baker Mayfield's time is done after, after what happened with him in Cleveland. And, he's just saying, hey, I can still do this. I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm collect. What's your thoughts about Baker so far?
Hey, man, he's making plays. He's making plays. That's all I got to say.
I can't complain there. I mean, hey, he ran the ball a little bit today. 6 carries for 17 yards. So.
And look, and the Bucks seem to be very confident with him under center, and that's a good thing. That's something that he hasn't had since maybe his first couple years with the Browns. So I'm glad that he's starting to sort of get that back a little bit.
Third down and goal for Miami. Just got stuffed.
Patriots were all over that, by the way.
Who you got in this game tonight? What do you think?
I was thinking Miami, because I thought Miami was just better. But after seeing that, I don't know, man.
I still have Miami. Like Miami's a good football team. You just need Tua to stay healthy. Oh, Tua just slipped on the turf.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you by one. Maybe by a few seconds. Yeah, but no. I picked Miami before, I believe. But man, the Patriots know how to hang on. They're once again, oh god, the Jets got faced that. Oh geez.
Tua's ankle almost, snapped in two.
Yeah.
No pun intended there, Mike Rifkin, if you're listening. I will say, it seems there's I think there is a little more concern. I don't know if with the Patriots, I don't know if the Patriots play on a turf field or not. But now, the turf gate is now a thing, I feel. Because you got David Bakhtiari not playing for the Packers because they were in Atlanta. Atlanta has a turf field. He's not going to play because he doesn't want to play on a turf field.
It's field turf.
Because you got
field turf since 2006.
Okay, so they do have a turf field. You got all the football stadiums converting, their fields to turf fields because the World Cup is coming. So
yeah, I think they wanted to have grass, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been a conversation. I think I saw something the other day that to turn all NFL fields into natural grass fields, it's like $312 million. Or like 355. So I saw it yesterday. I think Fox had it. Fox Sports had it on their socials. It was either like 312 million or 355 million. And I'm like, okay, that's like chump change to them. That's like, all right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you divide that by what? I think that's what we do. Let's say it's just 355 million. Divide that by the 32 teams in the league. I mean, each team's paying like 12 grand, which in hindsight is chump change too. I mean, 12 million, my bad. I misread that. Read the math patch. 12 million, which inside itself is chump change. They probably make 12 million in a day at the stadium.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, just the soccer players can play on grass fields. It's fine. Turf, we saw the turf problem at MetLife this past, last week, between the Giants game where Daniel Jones was covered in turf pellets and the Aaron Rodgers injury.
Well, I mean, everyone else didn't have an issue with turf.
Yeah. Speaking of the Giants fans can rejoice a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
No, I think it was a big win. They needed it. They needed
it. It didn't look pretty in the first half. They were down 20-0 at the half. They were shut out through 6 quarters of football. Me being, me, I wanted, 8 quarters of shutout football for the Giants, but, that didn't happen. Giants have they tie their biggest comeback of a 21-point deficit or more. I think, yeah, it was 21-point deficit since 1949, I think it was. And I think they played the Bears in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Giants, scored 31 unanswered points, 14 unanswered in the third quarter. Arizona still got 8 points in the third.
It was 28-7. They scored a total of 24
points. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the clarification on that. And it seemed there were more Giants fans in Arizona than there were Cardinals fans.
Look, here's one thing you got to know about New Yorkers in general. We can travel. We know how to travel.
We know how to travel. I agree.
We know how to travel with our fan bases. So props to the Giant fan base for staying with it. Here's what I'll say about the Giants. They did not have a good first half. I wonder if Dable, because this is what people have been saying on X. I still call it Twitter, but whatever.
It's Twitter to me still too.
Yeah. They were saying that Dable took over the play calling in the second half. So I wonder if that made a huge difference with the game. I wonder if they were able to figure out Daniel Jones a little bit more and stuff. Also, I mean, and this is, and it's not that surprising that the Giants came back, because Arizona had a good first half against the Commanders in week 1 and then struggled in the second half. So I think that's a pattern there for Arizona. Like, they come out really strong and everything, and then they falter late. So that to me has to be fixed if you're the Cardinals. But at the same time, it's also a team that's trying to tank. If you want my honest opinion, the Giants should have blanked them. So that part, that was not good. But they were able to get a win, and they can rest easy knowing that they're 1-1 going to the 49er game on Thursday instead of 0-2. 0-2 would be a disaster, because then you're basically running into 0-3 and stuff. But if I'm being real with you, the 49ers didn't have a great game against the Rams.
Not really. I think if we look at that game, internet exists. So.
I think the Giant, as a Giant fan, I feel like you should feel a lot better going into San Francisco.
You should feel a little more comfortable, you know. I mean, really, you know, it's was the run game show for San Francisco. I mean, Brock Purdy still had a decent game, 17-25, 206, had a rushing touchdown. But really, you're relying on Christian McCaffrey all game. 12 carries, 116 yards for 1 touchdown. And Debo had a touchdown as well. I mean, Stafford, 34, 55, 307. A lot of people putting up 307 yard not 307, 300 yard plus passing yard games already. And we're only 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 touchdown to 2 INTs. So it's weird with the Niners, because people, with Brock Purdy, at full strength again, they think that they're going to be fine. But then again, you have to make sure Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, Debo stays healthy. Almost a nice catch.
Yeah.
If I'm the Giants, I give them a 50-50 shot going into Thursday night to win the game. I think they have a shot to go into San Francisco and come out with a win. But then again, if Brock Purdy, shown us what he's done in the past, Brock Purdy could have a 3 touchdown game himself and just annihilate the Giants defense.
Miami recovers a fumble.
Oh no. Oh.
And that ends the first quarter. Jesus.
Three nothing. Just like that, 1 quarter of football is in the books. Time flies when you're having fun.
American Turn and newspaper. A few big box retailers want to take those rewards away. Rewards we use on groceries and food supplies. The gas back and save on gas.
I mean, Washington and Denver had a hell of a finish.
Did you see that? That was terrible.
The Hail Mary, and then the blown pass interference call on the 2 point. or holding.
No, make your play. Sorry.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with
Don't
you, my
feel
friend.
sorry for the Broncos for that. They're not a good team. Look, if the Jets, you know how many times the Jets have gotten some terrible calls that didn't go their way?
Hmm.
So no, I don't feel bad. Sorry. Sorry. You need to get the same treatment just like every sucky team on the planet. You're not going to get any calls. You're not going to get anything. You're going to get hosed more. Basically. Tough shit.
Danny Boy keeps it real here on the network. Looking forward to, got a nice double header for Monday night.
Yeah, Monday nighter, huh?
Yeah, two Monday. We get back-to-back weeks of 2 Monday night football games.
Well, I mean, starting this week, right?
Starting this week, yeah, with New Orleans and Carolina at 7:15 kickoff, and then Cleveland and Pittsburgh at 8:15.
I'm interested in that Cleveland-Pittsburgh game, to be honest with you.
I think that's going to be a good game with
That's gonna be a
between
good game. Divisional matchup. I know the Steelers, they don't get a lot of respect. And I think they'll play a better game. Ultimately, the Browns are going to win. I just think the Browns are better. But Pittsburgh, watch out. You never know.
And then, next Monday night, we get Philly and Tampa and Rams and Bengals. The Rams and Bengals might be a crapshoot since he's 0-2 right now.
Exactly.
Poor Joe Burrow. I like Joe Burrow. I mean, hey, Pittsburgh gets back-to-back primetime games too. They play Sunday Night Football next week against the Raiders. So, it should be a good game. Jets are home against the Patriots, so hopefully there's a little life there for them.
Hopefully, but if I know anything about Bill Belichick, he always has Jets on his radar. He will do anything to beat the Jets. That's why we got to kick his ass. I'm afraid after this dreadful performance against the Cowboys, I'm afraid that all aspects of this team is not ready to face the Patriots.
Do you think they still need to go out and get a quarterback or still rely on Zach Wilson?
No, look, you have to. What the Jets have to do is you have to figure out a game plan that works for him. They let him down today because they were so afraid of Zach Wilson being a turnover machine that they completely forgot about utilizing the running game. They completely forgot about, doing other things like screens, end arounds, and play actions, all those nice things and stuff. Like they forgot about that. And then on top of that, like I said, the O-line was terrible. The O-line did not do well. They gave him no time today, no protection. It's hard to win games if your quarterback has no protection whatsoever. If your running back has no lane to run. So you have to figure out a game plan. And this is where I get on the coaching. And look, I've praised Robert Saleh for his game plan after the Aaron Rodgers injury. I praised him, but this is where I have to get on the coaching. Nathaniel Hackett did not come prepared today. Because if he was prepared, the game would have been much better. I'm not saying the Jets would have won, but it would have been a much better, much closer game. And instead it was just a disaster. No game plan. They set him up for failure. So that's what it is. They set up Zach Wilson for failure. And again, I'm not making too many excuses for Zach Wilson. I'm not saying he's the greatest quarterback. I'm not saying he will ever be a great quarterback. I'm just saying if you're going to play him, this is what you're going to get. So you have to play to his strengths, figure out a game plan that works for him. And if you can't do that, then you cannot be coaching this team. And if you really think that putting any other quarterback in was going to make a difference, you didn't watch the game.
I was flipping back and forth between them and the Giants.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm not saying you had a tough loss already, so I knew you would agree.
Guys, not overly fast.
But you know what? I'm not, I'm mad that we lost, but I'm content with the loss today because I knew what the problems were. I'm not,
Well, I think you really have something in Jordan Love. I really do.
nice pass to a
Yeah, Tua's having a good game so far.
waddle. No, I know we have something with Jordan Love. And the whole team is young. I think we have the third youngest team in the league. Well, I mean, we might have the youngest team in the league with young talent. And it shows. And it shows with Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur, is putting the pieces together. So, I don't want to say slowly, but he's like putting them together. It seems like a day by day basis because the defense. I can rag on this defense all this time. I can go back to Mike McCarthy days where the defense was horrendous, and we were giving up 20 plus points a game. It's just we don't know how to stop the run. That's what kills us. We can stop the long ball. We can stop, those quick short passes. It's just when it comes to stopping the run game, we can't stop the run. Offense, without, Aaron Jones today, that was a bit of a loss because, he's our go-to guy on the run game and he's a beast. So not having him and relying on Dylan, people are getting on Dylan today saying Dylan's a waste. And I'm not saying Dylan's not a waste. He's just, Dylan is good inside the red zone. Put him inside the red zone, he gets it to the house. With missing Aaron Jones, we had to put Dylan at 1 today, and we relied on Dylan a little too much today in the run game. I say 2 weeks. I'll take 1-1. Through 2 weeks of football. We could be 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
Well, we're not. 1-1. We should be 2-0. I would say yes, but we're not. We get over it. We build to a better week 3. Out of bounds.
Back in there one more time, but because they have so many players, it is just almost impossible for Tua to try and squeeze one of these in.
Woo!
Any boy
Hey,
happy
don't
about
push
something.
down. Hey. Get Waddle away from him. Get him away. He's your weapon. Get him away.
Man, I would have liked the fantasy points for that.
When he came off that helmet, looked at. Injury timeout.
We need to fix up for people just for you with that garlic flavor. But you wanted more heat. You don't have to.
Guys getting exciting that area with the with the O's getting a playoff berth.
Yeah, about that.
The O's.
Good for the Orioles, man.
Good for the,
They have had a massive turnaround these last couple of years. Last season it was all about, playing some of the kids and seeing what they got and everything. And look, they were within a playoff race. It didn't work out because they weren't ready, but it's all about the year after, right? And look what they did. Massive turnaround. You gotta be happy with what Baltimore has done.
Oh yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy what they're doing. I'm happy what the Rays are doing. Hey, Yankees are showing some life with the young talent.
Yeah, I mean they lost it. That was a big loss. But the good news is that they do have 6 games with the Blue Jays, and it'd be nice to sweep them all. If they really want a chance at a playoff spot, they have to win these games against the Blue Jays.
I mean, Yankees 6.5 back.
They have to have a winning record, basically. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Pat.
That's okay. No, Yankees 6.5 back of the last wild card spot.
I believe they would have to jump 2 teams. It's
They
Mariners and the Blue Jays.
they're 6.5. Let's see here. Texas holds the last wild card spot because they're 1 game up on Seattle. Then it's the Yankees. Toronto has a half game over Texas, and Tampa has a 9-game lead over Toronto.
Okay. So yeah, the Yankees have to jump over 2 teams.
28 yards.
Oh, knee to the helmet.
He gets it down. Outside the 15. He's first and 10.
Approachment.
Defense number 27. Pass tonight.
It really was one of the things that Mike McDaniel talked
Mike
about,
McDaniel always smiling.
the issues that this team had.
I mean, look, he has his team ready. Look, I get. I'm not too impressed by Mike McDaniel, but his team is ready, and people love him. So
Hey. I mean, when Tua's not, not out, for him, he's a good football team. It's hard when your go-to, your QB1's out, every 6 games with a concussion. It seems.
yeah,
Because Miami will be going on a roll, and all of a sudden Tua goes down, and then they lose like 3 or 4.
yeah. No, if Tonga Vailoa can stay healthy, relatively healthy, if he misses a game or 2, it's not a big deal. But they need him to play almost every game. Touchdown Dolphins. There you go. There you go. And I know Mike Rifkin is singing the praises right now.
He's probably doing the waddle dance.
What a run.
They don't run
Yeah.
it a lot. They run it some. Usually it's been outside zone, but this time
They just slow
zone
ass MFers.
just so conditioned. You gotta get outside. You gotta be able to stop that outside zone. And here comes Poster. Free speed right out that door.
Raheem Mostert.
Sure, Moser had a good day too.
Yeah, he can finally stop overreacting about
The
turning.
Bills were. He's going to
That's
a
what he
game.
did. He's like,
And he's going to.
"Oh,
And he's going.
I'm a hockey fan now. Screw the Bills."
That's not a true Buffalonian. You stick with your team through the ups and the downs. You don't give up on them.
No, he's just, how he gets.
The second game, I could be flipping out right now with the Packers, but I'm not.
Like, if I'm being real, I'm not really flipping out over the Jets right now. I know the Jets had a bad game, but if you're talking about the overall outlook, like, there are still some games where they can get.
I mean, in it was talked about today on Good Morning Football or whatever. Not Good Morning Football. It was talked on, I think, ESPN this morning or something, what I was watching.
Yeah.
That if the Jets make the playoffs, there's a slight chance that Aaron Rodgers could play.
We talked about this live on Sunday Sideline. This is typical Aaron Rodgers being a selfish prick and everything being all about him. Because, and this is how you know, this is all about him. He goes on Pat McAfee and he talks about how he's wants to prove all the doubters wrong and everything and all that stuff. And then there's this story that comes out about how he had this innovative procedure on his Achilles that can have him return after 4 months. And it's just like, you know, that this is a PR person trying to hype up Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is doing everything necessary to get all the attention to him because that's all it is for him. It's all about the attention for this guy. He does not care about, and this is how I know he truly does not care about the Jets. He doesn't care about the Jets. If he cared about the Jets, he would be like, you know what? For the better of the team, I want to be back ready, healthy by training camp in July of 2024. If he truly cared about being there for his team. This is nothing to do about caring for the team. This is everything to do with him wanting all the attention to be on him because he can't stand the fact that he's lost for the season and that all the attention is going to go away from him.
The spotlight is not on him.
So I don't want to hear that bullcrap. This is obviously because he gets.
All right. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers is such a badass, you know. Look. If it's such an innovative procedure that can heal you up quicker, the recovery time is quicker, the rehab is quicker. Wouldn't it be wiser to stay out for the rest of the season and wait till July, or even if it's like you want to participate in the OTAs, you know, all that stuff? Like, that's fine. I get it. But you cannot be serious about returning this year. I think that's just stupid. Take the year off, rehab your Achilles the proper way, and come back in training camp next year. It's over. It's over. It's not always about you, Aaron. What a fucking prick, dude. I'm tired of that guy. Jets should never have gotten him. This is obviously a publicity stunt. And then the media were egging them on, and they're trying to set them up for failure. All right. Patriots down 10 to the Dolphins. First and 10. There's a long pass. No, not even close. Well, that's not too much of a lucky number 7 there. For those of you that didn't catch that, Juju's like, I'm wearing number 7 because I think it's a lucky number for me. And then he literally got stuffed as he caught a pass and didn't go anywhere. So it's that didn't work out for him very well. No.
And Eagle, of course, the question is, are the arm coming forward or not? Say yes, Barry. Say yes, it's no control and moving forward and you can. Like here, Terry, so often, it's Saturday, Sunday, it's like a living room weekend, you know, things ain't Saturday night, and I know, the people, you know, let's see, what in this year is. Stop it. Sideline. Terry, we're looking for control and back start forward with the ball. Right. We are, and you see his hand firmly wrapped around the ball with them and moving forward. It's pretty clear to me that it's an. They're hitting clock starting. Okay, go to the second turnover of the pass. And the motor's been intensely during your time. Like that. Like this. $5 and 200 instantly lost that. Yeah, I'm gonna drop these fourth look at because that's my fun when you know that. The crowd is yours. So far, it's something you get my money right. So far, checking and savings, nothing, no documents, standard, competitive DPY. Before, I know it's. Probably not, to see how far it would be. CRV, like, on the line. So when you beat the biggest champion, how did I have to tell the big head go to? Strong is not messing around. I would want to think that. Come on, Justin, you set up the stuff. Thursday night football on top. This phone.
All right, did I miss anything exciting? I was warming up some food.
No, the Patriots are punting.
Oh, boy. What was the challenge?
They challenge because they're thinking that Mac Jones fumbled the football. He did.
Ah.
And a puncher, Brian was in the fourth round. Place kicker, Barrier in the 6th round. delay on display. 50 on. There it is. Six.
Good stop by the Patriots.
It's a great day last week, right? Yeah, well, does anything remind you of Dan Marino? I was like, I don't know. How can you tell? It's like one's right-handed, one's left-handed. So we flipped Danny around and made him a left-hander, and that's a little bit. But this one, if you make Tua right-handed, you got to say that looks a little bit alike.
Now that's cool.
That's cool.
And we saw Danny on the field before the game. And you told him that you were going to do that.
It's that exciting.
But the point is, what comes out to the field is different. You're listening to stick on the help, but I'm doing the defense.
Yes, Mike, Patriots corner, Marcus Jones, saw him come off the field in a lot of pain, holding his right arm, went to that medical tent. And the unaffiliated nurse called him straight to the monitor. The play. Then he went to the tent.
Oh, look, he rolled his wrist. I've done that before. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Nope.
So Sauce Gardner's no longer on Twitter, by the way.
Oh, poor Sauce.
He's getting trolled by the Dallas fans for being absolutely torched by CD Lamb today.
Well, I think Josh Allen deleted Twitter and Instagram after last week's loss. If I'm not mistaken. I think they were talking about that he deleted that, and the only thing he's been watching is poker videos on YouTube.
Like, poor soul.
Well, you're gonna have good games and you're gonna have bad games. There's no need to.
Well,
delete yourself.
he played better in the second half. But the thing is, he had a chance to really change the game when he dropped that pick six. Because he had a pick six, clear as day, clear path to the end zone if he came up with the ball. And then this was the same drive where Dallas ended up scoring the touchdown.
Ready for his debut, I would say.
Instead of 14-10, it was 10. It was 18-7.
That's your real peppers. That's big. They take it over at the 44 Dolphins. Now the Patriots take over the 30. Yeah, for gain some points. Now 10-0. MVP of 6. I will try with. You got this. We got you. NFL Sunday Ticket is now on YouTube. Seems like things are going well.
Whatever comes next, we will respond. Fiercely, like fame. This season's updated COVID-19 shots are now available. Get your vaccines.gov.
You're the science guy.
That's Bill Nye, actually, you have no science guy. You familiar with predictable irrationality, that's prospective, right, attentional blinds, or even sex. Understanding the picture and being a superpower, which is why the FBI is. You really helped the man in the Super Bowl. That was a risky experiment, but it worked out for them. Next month.
Been a long time, over 25 years, since Ohio State has been South Bend. It is the marquee matchup on a blockbuster college football Saturday. We will have it Saturday night on NBC. Ohio State, Notre Dame. That one.
All right, we got about 5:44 left till halftime. We'll get out of here. I will say it'll be a very weird day once Bill Belichick isn't a New England Patriot. It's gonna be the weirdest day, I think, in football. It's like they're if anything, you know, Robert Kraft has this weird robot that you can just put his brain in, and then you know, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick coaches forever.
Glaring difference in the stance of our today. It's that the play of the defense with their linebacker, they got run over a week ago, man. I just think the biggest, most glaring difference in this game is that me. It's been the play of the defensive line and linebacker from the Miami Dolphins. They got run over a week ago, and I just think God. The big defense had that happen. Look at that. Look inside. Big guys, but all the outside attack. Now, it really doesn't matter who plays back to bring the Patriots. The tight end are going to be a big part of it. And now they're starting to, there's no other, starting to draft this defensive line on the field. See if they come back to play.
Here to go. Stevenson inside. Going. Any Alabama, to get where you're looking, Alabama guys. There are 9 of them in the game.
First down.
And Davis would stop a half-yard shot.
But right back to the huddle here because they don't want fresh players coming in to the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, Patriots trying to drive down the field. It's always been effective though.
Started for a stage. It was hard to see from this angle, but referee obviously was a different angle. But a lot of times, same guy, you grab the chest plate in there, and then when the quarterback or running back runs by you, you start to pull away.
It's a tough one there. Gotta get stops.
Some of the opportunities that they had, like, they didn't have live on in the game. They really need to make this happen.
Clock restarts. We get to the 2-minute warning. History is on.
Look ready for bed, my friend.
Yeah. Probably gonna call after the first half.
Yeah, me too. Well, fans, you know the drill. Make sure you click that bell, like us here, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us that we suck at what we're doing. You know the drill. Be the internet trolls you want to be. Come on.
Sure.
Hey.
Love the interaction, man.
Hey, any interaction is good, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
You know that website, www.thesportsangnetwork.com, to keep up with all the blogs. Learn about this whole shebang we've been doing since 2021.
Mhm. Check out our podcast.
Yeah, we have
Main show, the Sports Insanity podcast, featuring, I like to say we want to feature all the SIN people, and I really hope that becomes the case someday, so that
it's not the same 4 people.
yeah, exactly. But people have lives, people are busy, so
No, I'm a busy man.
in the meantime, it's the same 4 people. But it'd be nice for one day if we can get different people on the show.
All right. I hope for that day too. Hey, we got the Pro Wrestling Podcast and the Face Turn Podcast.
Mhm.
That features all our wrestling fans of the network. Wishbone Shotgun for football.
Yeah, they're doing 3 weeks strong, I guess. Well, they have their summer shows, but on a weekly basis.
Weekly basis during the NFL season. Breakaway Bandits is on its return because hockey season is upon us.
Yep.
And hopefully the basketball podcast returns. Because I missed that podcast.
Yeah, it's a project that I may take on. I don't know.
Hey, man, I'll bring my semi basketball knowledge if needed.
Right.
Other than that, the One of One is back with Mr. Mark Halpern on our YouTube. So make sure you're on the Sports Insanity Network looking out for that. The One of One is back with him and Miss Charlotte Helen Halpern, which we're very excited about.
Yeah.
Good to have the old Apps guy back in some way after his departure early spring to go back to the card world and get his business back up and running. Hey, I'm not going to knock him there.
No.
Oh.
All right. Almost.
Butterfingers everywhere.
Patriots are lucky. .49-yard field goal attempt. And it is good. Pure.
Ah, with the mighty, mighty Bosstones playing in the background. All right, fans, we're gonna get out of here for the evening. Both of us are falling asleep.
Yep.
SIP is back next week with another exciting episode.